Yo, welcome back to the Pichu Bros, and today I'm going to be giving my thoughts and opinions on the new 6 Pokemon that were just dropped by the official Pokemon sources. Now, I'm actually really keen for this region right now. Like, they've been releasing some great abilities for these mons, and most of the designs, I'm going to say most because there are some that I kind of do hate, the fish, but most of the designs for the majority of the Pokemon are actually pretty cool. Like, for real, they're pretty sick. Like, it's gonna be hard choosing a team of 6 when most of these Pokemon look pretty cool. The only ones I really hate so far is the Pikachu clone, the fish, and one of the new Pokemon I'm gonna be talking about in a sec. But yeah, as a competitive battler, I'm just gonna put it out there that I'm gonna be probably talking about how these guys will affect the competitive meta more than talking about their lore and stuff, because honestly I'm probably more going to be keen like for how they're going to affect the meta and how I'm going to try and use in my team when they get released. Now let's get into our first Pokemon, shall we? Alright, so first up we have Wimp Odd. Now our boy is a bug water type. Now I'm going to pretty much assume obviously that this is not a full form, but I'm going to be talking about like as if it is a kind of like a full form. Alright, so Wimp Odd has the ability Wimp Out, which makes it so when it goes to 50% health, it bolts the battle. Kind of like an eject button after it hits 50%. Now that is a very interesting ability, and I think it's actually not too bad. I'm thinking that the ability would have to be on a mon that's fast, because if you get hit and then you bolt the battle, you pretty much kind of waste that turn. Unless you're a defensive mon, but I doubt this thing's going to be defensive, because if you look at it, it doesn't look that defensive, to be honest. But if this thing is fast, it can get a major hit in, then take a hit, and then leave, and then that's good initiative for your other mon. So I think that's not too bad. And I was thinking that possible sets for this thing, if you run like Life Orb, for example, you could possibly be on like 60%. And then after your Life Orb, you leave the battle. So you do a hit and then you leave the battle without getting hit by the actual enemy. You just drop below 50% by Life Orb. And actually, on that as well, if he drops 50% by like Hail or Sandstorm, he'll actually leave the battlefield by taking under 50% by weather. So it's actually really niche if you think about it like that. Like, this man is actually really going to be confusing for initiative wise. But yeah, I think definitely he will be a good mon depending on if he's fast or not. Or like if he's slow, like I said, he's just going to be taking hits and bolting the battle. He won't be doing too much for his team. But if he's fast, he will be a very tricky one to deal with. So that's pretty much all I got to say about Wimp Odd. And now next up we have Bounsweet. Now, Bounsweet looks like a little Cherubi ripoff wearing a nappy, but that's pretty much all I gotta say about it. Like, to be honest, it's kind of trash. Like, it's a grass type with Leaf Guard and Oblivious. I mean, that's not really that good. Like, I mean, Leaf Guard is kind of a trash ability, and Oblivious, I mean, it depends if this thing's going to be like, it could be like a Trick Room setup for all we know. Like, if it's something like that really relies on having a lot of status moves, then I guess Oblivious is not too bad, but I don't think that Oblivious is actually that good, so that mon kind of looks trash, and I'll pretty much just going to skip over it, because there's nothing really to say about that. Like, it doesn't look promising at all, so that's probably the worst mon out of this 6, but definitely the rest are gonna pick up the pace. Now for the third mon, we have our boy Comfey. I'm guessing it's called, or Comfey. I'm guessing it's gonna be Comfey. Yeah. So this mon is going to be just a fairy type with Flower Veil and Triads as its given abilities. Now, to be honest, this thing reminds me of Klefki when I first saw it. You know, I don't know why, but it just did. Like, the ring and like, yeah, it definitely reminds me of Klefki. But, yeah, this thing is probably going to be a decent mon. I'm not sure if this is the final evolution. If it's going to be like a Klefki ripoff, it might just be like a really strong kind of no evolution mon, if that makes sense. But if this thing evolves again with that ability, it actually can be pretty promising. Now, I was thinking about how this ability could be really good in the meta. Its ability, Triage, makes it so all restorative moves like like Soft Boiled, Moonlight, Synthesis, Giga Drain, they all have maximum priority. And when I heard maximum priority, it means that it outpaces every priority, I'm guessing, which is not actually too bad. Because this thing with Giga Drain could actually put in the work against like fast, ground, rock, like water types, anything weak to grass. So this thing could actually do some decent damage to like mons like Starmie, who are really fast. So it's actually not too bad. I mean, Confide could put in the work, but just being a fairy type means it doesn't have too many offensive, like a good offensive presence. It mainly has to just rely on its fairy typing, and Giga Drain won't be stabbed. I mean, they could have made this thing a grass type. Like, it has flowers. Like, come on. This is like a Florges again, where it could have been a grass type, but it's not. So it kind of misses out there. I mean, if I had stabbed Giga Drain, it would put in even more work, but I guess they didn't want another grass fairy. Like, they didn't want to copy Whimsicott. But I mean, having just a basic fairy type is probably the worst thing you could do. But that's going to be Comfey. Now, after Comfey, we have this beast boy Mudsdale. Yeah, it's Mudsdale. Yeah, Mudsdale. So this horse is definitely on my team. Like, when I saw this boy, I was like, yo, this guy looks amazing. Look at it. His like hair, his feet, tail, like everything is just perfect. Boom, on my team. Like, it's a ground type with its given abilities as own tempo and stamina. Now, stamina is where I'm getting all my heart from right now. Its ability, pretty much every time it gets hit, it gets a +1 defense gain. Now, that boost is huge. Because I'm thinking right now, I'm like, yo, this thing could be a really good defensive mon to counter, like, fake out users. Like, yo, if this thing switches in on the fake out, you could easily just gain a defense boost. Simple. You're done. Like, this thing could also put in the work against Kangaskhan, depending on its stats. Like, if this thing has not that much, like, if it's got a pretty bad defense stat, it will have to really rely on its ability. But if this thing has, like, let's say, like, 110 defense, that would be absolutely amazing with this ability. Like, there's the main weakness for this mon would be like just basic Scold, Hydro Pump, all the weaknesses of a Hippowdon. I'm thinking this guy will play kind of like a similar role to Hippowdon in terms of being like an amazing, solid, just ground type defensive wall. But I think this thing could be better in a different way in terms of it just keeps getting stat boosts every time you hit it, which makes it pretty overpowered. Like, yo, I'm thinking this thing could be OU, man. Like, this thing's ability really can carry this mon like to high places. The only thing is, if this thing has like crap stats, boom, it won't be OU. It'll probably be UU, but yeah, depending on its stats, definitely will decide where this mon ends up on the tiers. Now, next mon that was dropped, which is probably really interesting, is Mimikyu. Now, Mimikyu is actually, it's not a Pikachu clone. It's a mon like wearing a Pikachu outfit, but it's going to take the Ghost Fairy typing, which is actually a great offensive typing. Like, yo, I'm not sure many wolves can really deal with Ghost Fairy. Not off the top of my head. Like, let's check. Ghost Fairy. Like, nah. Poison Dark. Nah. Steel Dark. Nah. There's not much things that can really deal with a Ghost Fairy. So that's actually a normal Steel. Boom. Is that even a thing? Let me check. Nah. Yo, so this thing actually could put in the finest of work in terms of being a good offensive mon, but its abilities where, like, again, this thing's ability, yo, god damn, like, Disguise pretty much makes it so you have a free sub when you switch in. I mean, that is probably one of the best abilities I've seen so far. Having a free sub means that if this thing gets like Nasty Claw or Sword Stance, yo, it's taking lives with it to the grave. Like, come on. You can just set up a Nasty Claw right behind a sub and pretty much just blow something back. Like, I don't see this thing having amazing stats though. Like, I think it's probably going to get around like 70 special attack if it's going to have like special attack. And it's probably only going to be like 90 speed, I would say. Like, not many of the Pikachu kind of look like a mon. There's not really a Pikachu clone. But I would say they'll give it like around the same stats. So it's probably only going to be like 90 speed. slower than Pikachu probably as well. But yeah, I can see this thing being OP depending on its stats, obviously, and if it gets like nasty plot, swords, then something to set up right behind that sub, that fake sub. So that's gonna be Mimikyu. Alright, so here we go. Last one. We have Beware, the little pink ass bear. Like, this pink ass bear is actually not too bad. It's normal fighting type, which is decent. It's got that Mega Lopunny typing. But that's not the best part about it. Right now it has, its ability is Fluffy and Klutz. Now Klutz, it could be alright. Like, obviously you could get that Klutz switcheroo clutch. So it could like be like a cool Klefki counter, depending if you can like trick like Assault Vest on people. But where Fluffy is very interesting ability. Like, if you look at that ability in depth, like, yo, Fluffy pretty much doubles its defense against physical attacks. So yeah, doubles its defense, but does trade in the fact that it gets double damage from fire type moves. So it gains a fire type weakness in turn for getting double defense. Now this thing can absolutely wall like everything. Not everything, but like, yo, this thing can be an amazing wall. Normal fighting type isn't too bad of a typing for being a wall. Just gotta watch out for that fairy types with psychic coverage, obviously. It destroys this boy. But yes, it's definitely a decent, will be a decent mon. Now, I could see this thing evolving, which is probably the most scary thing. Like, if this thing evolves into like a, if this thing kind of looks like a little bigger version of a Chubchoo, could you imagine like the Bear Arctic version of this thing? Like, yo, this thing could evolve into straight power. Like, I'm not going to ponder on if these things have evolutions or not. I know some probably do, like Wimp Odd definitely, the Berry definitely. But yeah, these things, if they took these abilities to the next level, I mean, they would have the same abilities, but if these mons actually like evolve into something with amazing stats and coverage and stuff, yo, these mons will be so powerful. I'm not sure if Sun and Moon right now are just showing only the mons with new abilities, but so far they're actually dropping a few powerful abilities on us. And I'm not sure if they're going to keep this up. I'm pretty sure hopefully they do, to be honest. So these abilities, yo, they're going to change the meta so much, which is amazing, because I'm sick of this land, like, oh, the same stuff, different day. So basically, that's my thoughts on the 6 mons. My favorite was definitely the Mudsdale. Like, yo, that's such a good mon, yo. That's straight on my team. So let me know in the comments who's your favorite mon so far, out of these 6, that is. So is it Mudsdale? Is it Beware? Is it Wimp Odd? Is it Mimikyu? Like, yo, Mimikyu is like nice, dude. I wouldn't even mind having that on my team. Yo, and guys, remember to subscribe to the Pichu Brotherhood. We are growing at lightning speed and every member counts, so make sure you join up. And if you like this video, please leave your comments, like I said before, down below. It's really fun to like listen to what you guys have to say, and I'll pretty much be continuing this. Every time they do a new drop, I'll be like on that, like straight up, like bam. So hope you guys enjoyed. I am Pichu, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.